David Schwartz. David, thanks for. First of all, what did you make? I'm wondering of Stormy Daniels last night. Do you believe she has any credibility?
I was completely underwhelmed. In fact, all the Trump haters were underwhelmed. Iconic news person. That was not anything, dramatic by any stretch of the imagination. We heard that she had an affair with Donald Trump. According to her own story, there was only one time they had sex. They were sitting on a couch. Another time, she meets some guy in a parking lot, threatens her. He's been saying it was Michael Cohen this entire time. That's a complete lie. It's an utter fiction, and that in and of itself is defamatory. To say that was Michael Cohen or someone sent by Michael Cohen. You know what the answer is? I know you're looking for the answer as to who sent that person. It's a figment of her imagination. That person doesn't exist. Because you know why? You know why? Because when you're threatened with your daughter in a parking garage, what's the first thing that you think of? I got to go to my Pilates class. Up to me and threatens me with my daughter. Anyone who has a daughter knows you go right to the police. It's complete nonsense.
She said she didn't go to the police because she was scared, and she walked into the room.
That's why you go to the police.
To the notion that that it's defamatory.
File a lawsuit. Look, the majority
you got the letter yesterday.
So wait a minute. Last time you didn't let me talk. This time
I'm letting you talk.
No, this time you are going to let me talk. Otherwise, otherwise we're going to have to get the defibrillator out for you, and I'm concerned about it. So let me
go
talk
for it.
Right?
Go for it.
All right, I almost brought it. I almost brought it today. I almost brought the defibrillator.
Please go for it.
All right, look, the American people saw last night something that they haven't seen from Michael Cohen. They actually saw my client answer questions by a world-renowned journalist who asked tough questions. She sat in an interview for 2 hours or thereabouts, and she faced the tough questions, and she answered them. And the American people saw those answers, saw how she answered the questions, and I think 90% of America.
90%. Everyone's scratching their heads. What was that interview?
Wait a minute. Let me finish.
Are you saying that it was Michael Cohen who was in Las Vegas by the Pilates place? Are you saying it was him personally?
Of course it wasn't Michael Cohen.
Well, you said that all along. You've been saying that all
I didn't think you'd
said that. By the way,
No,
you've been showing us.
You know what? There's a reason why God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth.
What about your fake lie detector test?
You're supposed to listen.
What about your phony lie detector test? Where was the galvanic skin responses? Where was the arm band?
I got to be able to.
You're not saying it was Michael Cohen.
I got to be able to.
What Stormy Daniels has said is she could clearly identify that person. She has never said it was Michael Cohen. But you believe?
No, we have never said that it is Michael Cohen. But look.
You've been saying that all along.
Wait, come on, let him finish.
All right, look. It's very simple. My client sat down. She answered the questions. 90% of America found her credible. Why hasn't Michael Cohen sat down, forget 2 hours, I'll take 20 minutes, how about 10 minutes, and answered the questions? Instead, he sends you, you're not involved in the case. Are you ever going to make an appearance in the case?
I am never making an appearance in that case.
So you're just I am his attorney. You're a talking head.
I am his attorney. Of course, that's what we're here for.
No, we're here to get answers.
You don't have to be admitted in the state of California.
We're here to get answers.
Let him answer.
We're here. First of all, Michael Cohen just wants you to keep running your mouth and your client running, because every time you do that, it's going to cost your client another $1 million. I mean, I hope you have a nice malpractice policy, because you're advising your client to breach a contract.
During one of the things that certainly Stormy Daniels feels, and Michael Avenatti has said, is that the kind of threats that Michael Cohen is making about taking a long vacation on her dime, this $20 million figure, which, as you pointed out the last time you were on, you don't really know where that comes from. No, I can't figure out what the $20 million, what it's really based on. Is that the normal kind of behavior of an attorney in a lawsuit? I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know.
It's 20 different violations, but the bottom line is, I don't know where you think a threat is from here. I mean, I'm from Brooklyn. That's not a threat. I hate to tell you. Okay, when an attorney talks to another attorney about a damages clause in a contract, and 2 attorneys are speaking to each other, that's not a threat. That's just a legal discussion about a damages clause.
Has Michael go ahead, Jeff.
One thing I've never understood is, there's a signature line on the contract for DD, which is Donald Trump's pseudonym. Why didn't he sign?
Okay, so the bottom line is you have a contract between ECLLC and Stormy Daniels. So at the time when this was all going on, there may have been a situation where Michael could have brought it to him to sign. Michael chose to just allow ECLLC to be the party. That's why we have the and/or. And by the way, I know you've made up your own laws in this case. Wait, let me just get to this. And/or, by the way, has the same meaning in New York as it does in Wyoming, as it does in California.
Okay,
because you tried to school me on the California law, I actually researched, and guess what? The United States Supreme Court and cases in California all agree that and/or is either or.
There's
That's what it is.
There's another provision in the contract, I believe it's section 8.6, which says the contract is not valid unless everybody signs. Doesn't that trump the and/or?
It's not valid unless the parties sign. The parties to the contract are ECLLC and Stormy Daniels. And
so why is there a line that says DD for Donald Trump?
Because it
for
gave,
no reason?
It gave the option for Donald Trump to be a party to the contract. Instead, he's not a party. He's a third-party beneficiary.
But couldn't he have, in terms of that third-party beneficiary, couldn't there have just been a contract between Stormy Daniels and the Limited Liability Corporation that benefited Mr. Trump?
And that's exactly what this is.
So why have a third line there at all?
Because it gave the option.
Why did they need that option?
Because Michael wanted to have the option. That's why he purposely did it. This was a carefully drafted contract with a rock-solid arbitration
But why did he
clause.
want to have that option? I just don't, from a legal standpoint, I don't understand why.
Because when you're in the middle of all this, you want to have the option. He wanted to give himself the option. He chose not to exercise the option.
Trump wanted to give himself the option?
Michael Cohen wanted to give himself the option as the agent of ECLLC.
And what do you make of this letter that Michael Cohen sent saying this was a dispute between President Trump and Stormy Daniels?
It's a February letter, and guess what? This is see, he doesn't like to include the timelines. It's after.
He did, but he pointed out.
Yeah, but it's after he sued Donald Trump. So now he brought Donald Trump into the action.
That's not true.
In fact, that's the whole
not true.
point.
Let him finish
In fact, that's the whole point behind all this.
All right,
I mean, you have to ask yourself, what is the end game
All right,
here?
so let's
It's not
do Michael.
about money, right?
All right,
Okay, Mike.
all right. First of all, the email is dated February 22nd of this year. You showed it earlier on the screen, okay? We didn't file our case until March. So that, much like many of your statements, is just fabricated. It's patently false. That's why you and Michael Cohen are friends, I guess, because you both are really good at fabricating
How about
things. I'm not done.
How about your lie detector test?
You talked for a long time.
No, I'm not
How about his
done.
lie detector test?
I'm not done.
Why wasn't that on the segment?
Let him finish.
All right, I'm not done. Let's talk. Let's talk a moment about Michael Cohen. Okay, Megyn Kelly, not exactly a left-wing liberal in journalistic circles, tweeted last night a portion of an article that appeared in the Daily Beast not long ago, quoting a reporter about the threats that Michael Cohen had made to this reporter. Right. I can't state it on cable television. They're so bad. Okay,
Right,
you
it was
can
about
go
basically destroying this person's life and livelihood.
Correct. I'm not
But is that
done. I'm not done.
Stormy
I'm not done.
Daniels? Is that
I'm not
is that
done.
what we're
I'm
talking
not
about,
done.
Stormy
I'm not done.
Daniels?
Let's talk
My
about the
client has
kind of
never
man.
spoken to Stormy
He didn't
Daniels.
interrupt you when you were
But
speaking.
he keeps sidetracking.
Well, that's what he's allowed. He's allowed to speak. And we're allowed to speak.
Right, right. Let's talk about Michael Cohen, what kind of man this is. This is the kind of guy who claimed in connection with that story that there's no such thing as spousal rape. This is a legal genius. Right. Completely false. The guy doesn't even know the law. He's a thug.
Right.
Your friend is a thug.
Well, thank you.
Is a thug.
That's $1 million.
No, that's $3 million.
Thug. $1 million.
Thug.
You know what?
Thug.
You're a thug.
Thug.
Anyone who would come on here.
Wait a second.
Anyone, you see, anyone.
Thug.
By the way.
He's a thug.
By the
And if
way,
he was
you
here, I'd tell him to his
doctored
face.
your lie detector test.
so-
Okay, no galvanic skin response. No, I got to say this.
nonsense.
No galvanic
Thug.
skin response.
Thug.
No armband. By the way, the photos doctored. Why was the lie detector test, Anderson, not part of the 60 Minutes piece? Because this thug doctored it.
Can I ask a question? Just let me ask you a question about one of the broader points in this case, which is Michael Cohen's claim that he paid out of his own money, out of his home equity line, the money in this case. Have you ever heard of a lawyer paying a judgment or a settlement on behalf of a client out of his own money?
No, but this is not a normal attorney-client relationship. This is much more than an attorney-client relationship.